An 18-year-old girl who had just graduated high school and was preparing for college was tragically killed in a shooting that has left an entire community heartbroken.
From graduation to a tragedy in just days. 18-year-old Rene Silvan was killed Sunday in Hollygrove, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Daniel Victor Romero.
She walked up to that stage looking like everything she had worked for had finally arrived. Yellow and purple regalia, head held high, that smile, the one everybody who ever met her talks about, on full display. The auditorium was loud for her. People cheered, people cried, people pulled out their phones to capture the moment because she was just that kind of person. The kind you want to remember. The kind you feel proud of even if you only knew her a little. Rene Silvan, 18 years old, diploma in hand, a university acceptance waiting at home, and a whole future sitting just on the other side of that stage. Nobody in that room knew they were watching one of the last truly joyful moments of her life. For days later she was gone. Shot 20 times in front of her own mother, in her own neighborhood, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, by someone she had trusted. Someone who told her he was just coming to drop off her iPad. That's it. That was the reason he gave. An iPad. And by the time the neighbors heard those shots and came running, by the time the first responders arrived on Hollygrove and Peach Street, it was already too late. Let me back up and tell you who Rene really was, because she deserves so much more than a headline. Before we go any further, thank you. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for every like, every comment, every share. This community is the reason these stories get told. And your support means everything to the Dark Passion. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now. You will get more stories just like this one. We are on Facebook and Instagram too, so come find us there. Now let's get into who Rene was, because she deserves so much more than a headline. Rene Silvan was 18 years old and she was from New Orleans, Louisiana, specifically the Hollygrove neighborhood in the city's 17th ward. For those who don't know New Orleans, Hollygrove is one of those tight-knit communities where people look out for each other, where neighbors know your name, wave from their porches, check in on you. It is a neighborhood that carries the spirit of a city that has survived more heartbreak than most places ever face, and keeps standing. Rene was very much a product of that spirit. She was the kind of person who made a room warmer just by walking into it. Her smile, and people who knew her keep coming back to that smile, was the kind you don't forget. Not performed, not forced. Just genuinely, effortlessly hers. She was bright and outgoing, full of personality, and she had a way of making people feel seen without even trying. She loved makeup and beauty and had been building something real there. She had clients. She was making girls feel beautiful at their most important moments, and she took that seriously. She also had nearly 94,000 followers on TikTok, almost 100,000 people who showed up for her content, for her energy, for her. And here's the thing, you can go back and watch her videos even now, and you feel it immediately. You understand right away why people were drawn to her. At just 13 years old, she sat down in front of a camera, hit record, and introduced herself to the world with the kind of ease and natural confidence that most creators spend years trying to develop. She was not performing. She was just Rene. And Rene was more than enough. She had plans. Big ones. Her loved ones have talked about her dream of becoming a surgeon. She wanted to be a makeup artist. She dreamed about love. Her best friend Jordan wrote that Rene always dreamed about that big rock, about becoming a wife, about building a life. She was not just drifting through her days. She was actively building toward something. And she had been doing the work.
I really did my intro, but it was in slow motion and I didn't realize. I'm just going to redo it. So today I'm going to be, this weekend I'm going to be vlogging. I don't even want to say what I'm going to be doing today because every time I say that I end up changing the video. Like I always say I'm going to do this and then I don't finish the video or something. So I'm not about to say what this video is going to be. I'm just going to vibe with me. We're going to be vlogging with me. It might be the weekend, it might be a day, it might be 2 days, it might be a week. We never know. So yeah, I got the Smiths playing now. I have to look at my glasses. I'm just showing y'all that I'm not the clean girl y'all think I am. Like, I got a whole cookie cake right there. The rest of my room is pretty clean though, floor-wise. Bless me. I've had these contacts in for 24 hours now. I know that's really bad and I really need to take them out, but I fell asleep last night. Like, I just got out the shower, put my clothes on to go and get my glasses. But I'm about to get my glasses. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what I'm gonna see y'all, but just know I'm gonna see y'all. I just realized that one of my eyes look higher than the other. Only because, bro, he got this air blowing too high. But one of my eyes look larger, well, higher than the other because of the lashes. So ignore that. But I'm in the car, about to be on the way to get my glasses. See, my phone look good. That's how you good though. Like that. But yeah. Alright, y'all. I got my food. That's how it look. Y'all don't really understand watch me eat, so I'm gonna catch y'all later.
She was a student at Warren Easton Charter High School, a school she took seriously, a school that took her seriously right back. Then came May 2026. Prom first. Arimaya got dressed. Hair perfect, makeup flawless, the whole look exactly right. She shared it with the world the way she always did, letting her followers into her moment. Standing next to her was her boyfriend at the time, 20-year-old Daniel Victor Romero. From the outside, they looked like any other young couple enjoying prom night. Smiling, dressed up, young and full of life. But something was already becoming clear to Arimaya. Then 5 days later, May 20th, she walked across that graduation stage at Warren Easton High School in her yellow and purple regalia, diploma in hand, that smile on full display. The people in that auditorium cheered for her. They cried for her. They believed in everything that was coming next. And they had every reason to. Arimaya had earned that moment. Every bit of it. What none of them knew, what none of them could have known, was that she had 4 days left. 4 days. After graduation, Arimaya made a decision. She ended the relationship with Daniel. She had seen the relationship for what it was. Her family would later describe it to police as unhealthy. The kind of situation that drains you instead of building you up. And Arimaya was smart enough and self-aware enough to choose herself. At 18 years old, with a university acceptance and a whole future ahead of her, she chose herself. That is not a small thing. That is one of the hardest, bravest decisions a person can make. There was just one loose end. Daniel still had her iPad. Arimaya wanted it back. So she reached out, they made an arrangement. He would come by on Sunday, May 24th, drop it off, and that would be that. Clean. Simple. Final. And it came. Holly Grove was quiet that afternoon, the way New Orleans sometimes goes quiet on a Sunday. Slow and still. Arimaya was home. Her mother was there. It was supposed to be an ordinary afternoon. An exchange at the door. And then Daniel would be gone from her life for good. But Daniel did not just come with an iPad. His car was reportedly spotted 2 blocks away 5 minutes before the shooting. He showed up, they talked, and what should have been a 60-second handoff became something else entirely. An argument broke out. Voices raised, emotions flooding in that had no business being in that house on that afternoon. Arimaya told him the relationship was over. There was nothing left to discuss. Just leave. He did not leave. And on that quiet Sunday afternoon at the intersection of Holly Grove Street and Peach Street, in a neighborhood where everybody knew Arimaya's name, 20 bullets were fired at an 18-year-old girl. 1, 2, 3. And it kept going. 20 shell casings were recovered at that scene. Not 1. Not 5. 20. Her mother was there for all of it. Every single shot. There is no way to put words to what she experienced in those seconds. and there is no way to unsee what she had to witness. Neighbors heard it. They came rushing from every direction. They got down on the ground next to Arimaya and they tried with everything they had. But by the time first responders arrived, it was too late. Arimaya Rene Silvan was pronounced dead at the scene. Gone on a Sunday afternoon in Hollygrove. Gone because she asked for her iPad back. Gone because she had the nerve to walk away from someone who could not accept it. After firing those 20 shots, Daniel Romero fled. He left Arimaya there on that street and he ran. He did not make it far, and he did not make it long. By Monday, May 25th, just one day later, he was in custody. But here is the thing that needs to be said clearly. He did not turn himself in because his conscience was eating him alive. Prosecutors say Daniel Romero walked into custody because his own family told him to. The people who loved him looked at what he had done and told him to face it. And even then, even after his family had made that decision for him, Daniel Romero tried to get rid of the gun. He tried to hide the evidence. He tried to make the physical proof of what he had done disappear. It did not disappear. Daniel Victor Romero, 20 years old, was booked and charged with second-degree murder.
From graduation to a tragedy in just days. 18-year-old Romero Rene Silvan was killed Sunday in Hollygrove, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Daniel Victor Romero. Romero was arrested Monday and is now facing second-degree murder. Tuesday, he appeared in court, handcuffed in an orange jumpsuit with his head hung for most of the hearing. His face remained emotionless, even when the judge ordered he be held without bond. According to information read by Judge Juana Lombard in court, 20 bullet casings were found at the crime scene near Hollygrove and Peach Street. According to the judge, Silvan's family told police the two were in a tumultuous relationship and had just broken up. Romero allegedly went over to give Silvan an iPad. Information from the judge indicates the two got in a fight, then gunshots. The iPad was allegedly found at the scene, and Romero's car was allegedly known to be 2 blocks away 5 minutes before a gun was fired. Prosecutors argued the number of bullets was extreme, and there was a danger to the public. They say Romero tried to hide evidence, including the gun. Although the public defender's office argued Romero's not a flight risk and turned himself in, prosecutors say he only turned himself in because his family requested he do so. Judge Lombard said he's a potential risk to witnesses. While Romero sits in jail, a community is grieving. In a statement, Warren Easton confirmed Silvan is a recent graduate, writing in part, quote, "Romaya was a bright, talented young woman with a promising future ahead of her, and her loss is deeply felt throughout our school community."
Then came Tuesday. He walked into that courtroom in an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, head down. His face was blank, expressionless, for most of that hearing. Even when Judge Juana Lombard read the facts aloud. 20 bullet casings. A car spotted 2 blocks away 5 minutes before the shots. The iPad found at the scene. Even when prosecutors stood and argued that the number of bullets fired was not just extreme, it was deliberate. Even when the judge ordered him held without bond, calling him a potential risk to witnesses, his face did not change. Make it make sense. The public defender argued he was not a flight risk, that he had turned himself in. The prosecution pushed back. He turned himself in because his family made him. And the judge had already heard what she needed to hear. He was not going anywhere. While Daniel sat in that jail cell, a community was trying to figure out how to carry grief that had no roadmap. Warren Easton Charter High School released a statement describing Arimaya as a bright, talented young woman with a promising future ahead of her, whose loss was deeply felt throughout our school community. Teachers who had watched her grow. Classmates who had celebrated with her at graduation just days before. All of them now sitting with something no one should ever have to sit with. Her friend Jordan, username ZoJordan on Instagram, wrote something that has moved everyone who has read it. She wrote, "Arimaya Rene Silvan. I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to start because I would have never thought in a million years I would make this kind of post about you. You always kept a big smile. Nobody could take that from you. I can't believe the world won't get to see it. I can't believe they won't get the chance to experience you. She talked about Aremaya's dreams, the surgeon, the MUA, the wife, the big rock she always dreamed about. She wrote, "You were a young woman ready to tackle onto life." And then the line that breaks you. "It was never supposed to be long live in front of your name." That's the part that gets me. Long live Aremaya. That should never have been the sentence. Allegedly, the reach of Aremaya's story extended far beyond Hollygrove. Reports indicate that Cardi B, who has long spoken out on issues of injustice, contacted the family directly after learning about what happened and offered to cover all funeral costs. Rihanna, through the Clara Lionel Foundation, reportedly confirmed she would also contribute, stating that a proper farewell is the final act of respect for someone taken too soon. And Kim Kardashian, who has spoken about this case on social media, allegedly offered assistance to the family as well, and suggested they consult independent forensic experts. These are unverified reports, but the fact that Aremaya's story reached that level of attention tells you everything about who she was and what her life meant.
3 celebrities who offered to cover the funeral expenses of Rene Silvan. First up is Cardi B, a rapper who has long spoken out against injustice. She publicly voiced support for internet personality Ashley Janae just a month ago. Upon learning about Ramia's tragedy, she contacted the family right away to convey her deepest condolences. She offered to cover all funeral costs, hoping the family could focus fully on the ongoing investigation and related matters. Next is Rihanna. The Clara Lionel Foundation she founded has long been dedicated to supporting vulnerable communities. After learning about the injustice surrounding Ramia's case, Rihanna's team confirmed that she would pay for the entire funeral. She stated that the loss of such a young life is heartbreaking, and a proper farewell is the final respect for the deceased as well as comfort for their family. The last celebrity is Kim Kardashian. She has mentioned this case multiple times on social media and offered assistance to the family. She said she cannot tolerate unfair treatment within romantic relationships. She also suggested that the family consult independent forensic experts from professional organizations.
Her funeral was held at Rock of Ages Baptist Church, 6533, Acre Road in Romero, Louisiana, on Saturday, June 13, 2026, with a service beginning at 10 in the morning. The community came to say goodbye to a girl who should still have been here. Here is where I need you to really sit with me for a second. Because Rene Silvan did everything right. She recognized an unhealthy relationship and she walked away from it. She got her diploma. She got into university. She built a following, built a client base, built a future. She checked every single box. And she still could not protect herself from someone who refused to accept that she had the right to leave. And that is the question that has no easy answer. Why do we keep telling young women that leaving is the answer, when leaving is also the most dangerous moment? The statistics on intimate partner violence show this over and over again. The moment a person walks away from a relationship is often the most dangerous moment they will face. So where does that leave us? What do we do with that? And then there's Daniel Romero, 20 years old. He had every opportunity to drop off that iPad, walk away, and let her live her life. He was old enough to know better. Old enough to understand that a breakup is not something you respond to with 20 bullets. So here is the question I cannot stop thinking about. Was this a man who snapped in a moment of rage? Or was this a man who showed up to that house with something already decided? 'Cause there is a difference. And that difference may matter a great deal when this case goes to trial. Thank you for being here. Thank you for every subscribe, every comment, every share on The Dark Passion, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. This community is the reason these stories get told. And Aremaya's story deserved to be told fully. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. Share this video with someone who needs to hear her name. And drop your answer in the comments. Do you think Daniel Romero showed up that Sunday with a plan? Or do you think this was a moment of rage that spiraled beyond anything he intended? Type planned or rage below. Because the answer to that question could change everything about how this case is prosecuted. We'll see you in the next one. Long live Rene Silvan.